another episode of Z Talk. Today, I have the dope Amaris from the Bronx here to talk about the Bronx Native. How are you today?
I'm incredible.
Yes.
First of all, I want to say, can I get a year? Let's get it. BX in the house. I want to say thank you so much for inviting Bronx Native, inviting me to come here. Incredible studio.
Yes.
Incredible work you're doing.
Thank you for giving me a chance.
Of course. You know, I saw the contact and I said, let's get it. I see the hustle. I see the grind.
Thank you.
I'm part of that. I understand the vibes, and I'm here for that. So thank you so much for having me. Yes.
Appreciate it. Let's jump straight into it.
Let's get it.
Talk to me about your journey, whether it be your career-wise or just personal, leading up to the creation of the Bronx Native. What was that journey like for you?
So I was always, since the time I was a little kid in the BX growing up, I was always drawing. I was always a creative type. You know, I was given that talent. You know, like I knew how to draw. I knew how to do this. So I was always drawing and stuff, and I always knew I wanted to pursue a career in the creative.
Right.
You know. When I was in high school, I went to Cardinal Hayes High School in Grand Concourse in the Bronx. I started taking graphic design courses, video production courses. I started doing YouTube videos, parodies. I was always a character here and there. And I always knew I wanted to be in that field, in the media field. I started with a production studio called Get Studios before Bronx Native. So Get Studios was a studio that provided multimedia services for clientele, things like graphic design, video production, photography, and beyond, right? After I was doing that, and it's fairly successful, we had a couple clients on there, I said, you know what, I need to do something for the BX.
Right.
I need to do something for my home. You know, I need to do something for my people. You know, I go here, I go there, I hear the stigmas, I hear the perspectives that people have about the Bronx, and I wasn't happy with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
The Bronx, I tell everyone, I woke up one day and I said, you know what, the Bronx is the most beautiful place on earth, right? That's my home. That's, when we talk about the Bronx, that's a fact, you know what I mean? When we talk about our people, when we talk about the history, when we talk about the culture, bro, hip hop started in the Bronx, salsa started in the Bronx, doo-wop started in the Bronx. That's something not a lot of people know, the doo-wop, I can't do-wop, so I'm not gonna start. You saw me, I was about to start doing something, but I'm not gonna do it, okay? I'm sorry. But a lot of dope stuff came from the Bronx, you know what I mean? And also
to put a light on it.
So I wanted to shed light, and I wanted to just tell people what the Bronx was really about, you know what I mean? So I started Bronx Native, and it started as a clothing brand. It started as solving a problem, right? I was looking online, me and my sister were like, look, I want to wear something dope that says the Bronx. I want to wear something that identifies me, that empowers us, that showcases who we are, and we couldn't find it. No one was doing Bronx-based merchandise.
So you created it.
And we created it. We saw the Brooklyn merch, we saw the Harlem merch,
But not the Bronx.
We said, well, not the BX, it was good, right? So we said, we're going to tackle this issue. We're going to create Bronx-based merchandise, but we're going to be more than just an apparel brand. We're going to be a brand, a community-based brand that tackles issues that we go through on a day-to-day basis,
Right.
So we started Bronx Native, and I guess those are the steps leading on.
And it's growing, right? Because now you have 2 shops.
Facts. Because when we started, we weren't even thinking about the stuff that we're doing now, right? Our first shop started as a pop-up shop.
Right, in 2017.
In 2017. Okay, you did your research, say less, you know the vibes. It started as a pop-up shop in 2017, and we were only supposed to be there for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And from those 2 weeks, we just hit 2 years
wow.
there, right?
Congratulations.
Thank you. 7 months ago from now, we just opened up our second shop in Hunts Point called the Bronx Native Market. And now recently we're opening up another space.
Look, that's
an event, you know the vibes. This is the first time y'all hear it out here, right?
Okay.
We're opening up another space, and it's an event space for up and coming artists. It's a platform for creatives, entrepreneurs, musicians that just want to perform, want to connect, want to do their stuff and network and project their craft and do all that stuff. So we're doing that at the moment, and it's been incredible.
you kind of already touched on this, but I just want to bring it back, saying like, you know, the Bronx Native stands for so much. Like, you're shining light on creatives, artists, anybody that's from the Bronx. Tell me what's driving your passion to just shed light on so many people, because you didn't have to do that, you know, even though it's your home, you didn't have to do that. So what's driving that passion from within?
You know, I just want people to be happy and do what they love, and provide platforms that activate people's desires and passions. But what really triggered us to help other people was when we got our shop, right? When we first got our shop in 2017, we said, look, we don't only want to create a space to sell merchandise. You know, there's a bunch of retail stores that sell shirts, right? We don't want to be the typical, oh yeah, we have a Bronx shirt, you want to buy it? Okay, have a good night. You know, nah. We want to create a space. We want to create a cultural hub, a multi-purpose space that, yes, we sell merchandise, but we also use it as a platform to create events. You know, we've been hosting an open mic every other week for about 2 years. We host community events. We've worked with AOC, we've worked with Netflix, Red Bull. We've been working with a bunch of different brands, HBO, and utilizing our space to be bigger than what it is, right? And essentially utilizing it for artists and up and coming people that are coming up in the Bronx that might think, you know, me growing up in the BX, we didn't have all that, right? We didn't have that trigger, you know. So for us, it was like, yo, how can we create
those resources?
Resources that empower our people, that is a call to action. You know, when they see our post, they're like, yo, you know what, that post is making me want to do this. You know, I'm gonna go to the open mic, I'm gonna start that business that I might have think it wasn't possible, but it is possible because Bronx Native is doing it, and because Bronx Native is empowering other creatives and entrepreneurs in the Bronx to do what they want to do, you know. So
what has been your favorite feature event so far that you've been able to create or just share your space?
Look, I'm gonna give it a buck. We've done so many events in these short 2-3 years that I can't name it. Okay. But I am favoritism. You know, I like all of them. Okay. But I have, you know, recently we are doing these showcase of just artists in the Bronx, you know, that have been fairly successful. And it's just to see an artist, right, that is coming up, that is hungry, right, that is like, yo, I want this. And for us to be like, we see that you want this. Here. Right. This is platform. Make it happen. You know what I mean? And to see our people go up in that platform and just be who they are, and people correlate with that and connect with that, that's beautiful. You know what I mean? So we've been doing all these things, and it's a whole ecosystem. You know what I mean? We got the artists, we got the merch, we got the you know, it's a lot of different things, but it's been amazing. You know, yeah.
So what piece of advice, because I'm sure you've learned a lot just in these past 2 years, what piece of advice would you give a fellow entrepreneur, creative out there that's hungry and wants this? Like, what's probably your biggest lesson that you've learned and you want to put it out there?
Look, you know, being an entrepreneur, there's no map, there's no blueprint. It's like, yo, this what you got to do, and this, you're gonna make it after you do this, you know. All I gotta say is that, bruh, look, if this is what you really want, you know, put in the hours, put in blood, sweat, and tears, bro. Right. There's nights that I don't even sleep. Right. Bro, I'm awake. I'm like, yo. Might be like, yo. The girlfriend's like, oh, nope. Have a good night, ma. Bruh, there's some other joint. Yo, let's chill. Let's party. Nope. Take care, bro. I hope you have a good time. This is happening. Nah, you gotta just tunnel vision. Right. Bro, you gotta really set, you know, being an entrepreneur is not easy. It's actually, I think it's one of the hardest things.
You're the driver of your own boat. You're
the drive. There's a lot of sacrifice involved. Right. There's a lot of people that you leave behind too. Friends, family. You know, they've been like, oh shoot, we used to chill, blah blah. What are you doing now, bro? I'm focused. I'm doing this. I don't have time. Right. There's a lot of reflection that you have to do also, right? Like, look, is this really what I want to do? You know, and that comes into mental health too, and all that. You know, there's a lot of things going on, but the marathon continues. You know, the vibes, right? The journey is the reward, and I ain't stopping, bro. I'm going forever, and I stop when I'm dead.
All right. So now we're gonna play a game. So we're gonna play a game. In this box are Bronx natives, ironically, that have either said something that you might know or it's a fun fact about them. So take a dip and let's see how you do.
There, that's good. Okay. All right, got one. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, read it real quick.
Read it out loud. Let the world know what it says.
My birth name is Joseph Anthony Cartagena. Cartagena was good. So I know who this is.
All right, tell us.
10 seconds. Fat Joe.
Hey, you figured it out.
Joey Crack. You
There you
know
go.
the vibes. I'm all the way up from the boogie down Bronx, Cartagena. Fat Joe. I've had the pleasure of meeting him. He's been to our shop. I've taken photos with him. All that good stuff. Super cool dude. Super involved with his craft. He appreciates the youth. He knows where he comes from, and he's out here. You know, even though he's been out for, and he's a Bronx native. Even though he's been out for a minute, he's still putting out the bangers. Alright, so stay tuned. Alright,
take another dip.
Much love. I love it. All right, I'm about to take another dip. Let's get it. Boom. All right. There's a long ass quote. Okay.
You got this.
Went from making tuna sandwiches to making the news. I started speaking my mind and tripled my views.
Okay.
You know what's funny about this quote is that I definitely have heard it, and I definitely have rapped it or sung it. You know.
It's a hip hop artist, clearly.
I know, clearly.
It's a female.
Yeah, you know the vibe.
And they're from the Bronx.
We're talking about the BX, so I mean, I'm gonna go with a quick, Cardi B.
There we go.
You know the vibes. Let's get it.
One more.
One more.
Okay.
Okay.
One more.
Boom.
One last one.
Let's get it. Oh damn. Okay.
You're doing well.
I mean, 2 out of 3. Let's get it. Boom. Long quote. Okay, I am an American media personality, actor. I have hosted shows such as Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Live with Blank and Kelly.
There you go.
Regis Philbin.
There we go.
Let's get it. Fun fact. He went to Cardinal Hayes High School, the same high school that I graduated from.
So thank you once again for joining me today and having this conversation with me. You were fun. I want to say that. You were a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Let people know where they can stay connected with you. Instagram.
Yes, Instagram on all social media platforms at the Bronx Native. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and beyond. We have 2 shops, one in Mott Haven, 127 Lincoln Avenue, and the second one on Hunts Point, 866 Hunts Point Avenue. We got much more to come out here. And check us out, follow us, hit us up, come to our shop. And we're here for the BX, by the Bronx, for the Bronx, and much more, all right? Much love.
You heard the man.
Let's go. Yo, real quick, can I get a yeah? Let's get it. I love it. Thank you.